Questions 1 through 10 of the 1999 Grade 8 Gauss Math Contest is what I will cover in this video. 10 to the power of 3 plus 10 to the power of 2 plus 10 is equal to 10 to the power of 3 is 1,000, 10 to the power of 2 is 100, and finally we have 10. So this is going to add up to 1,110. So the answer is A. 1/2 plus 1/3. So you get a common denominator, and in this case it'll be 6. So that means you multiply top and bottom by 3, top and bottom here by 2, and you get 3 plus 2, and therefore 5/6 is your answer. So that would be choice E. Which of the following gives an odd integer? All right, let's calculate these. This is 36. This is 6. This is 216. 9 times 41 is 369. And 96 divided by 8 is 12. So of all these, which one is the odd integer? 369 would be the only one that's odd. So for number 3, the answer is D. What is the remainder when 82,460 is divided by 8? So 82,460 divided by 8 is equal to 10,307.5. So if we got 10,307 as our whole number, and then we've got this lone 0.5. So 0.5 of what? Well, 0.5 of 8. So that essentially means 10,307 plus 4. Half of 8. And therefore the remainder is 4. So choice C. In the diagram, line segments meet at 90 degrees as shown. If the short line segments are each 3 centimeters long, what is the area of the shape? All right, let's draw these lines here to kind of break up this diagram into a whole bunch of squares. Now what they've done is they've given you these lines right here. And what those lines indicate is that those are equal in length, those sides. So they've given you one as 3. So all of these are 3. Like that, all the way around. And therefore this is 3, and so on. You get the point. So these are basically 4 squares, and each square has an area of 3 by 3. Which is 9. And how many squares do we have? Well, we have 4 of them, and each has an area of 9. So the total area of this shape is 36. So the answer would be B. The average of -5, -2, +0, +4, +8 is, well, you add up all the numbers, and then you divide by how many numbers you have. And in our case, we have 5 numbers. And the numerator looks like it adds up to 5. And then the denominator is 5. And therefore 5 divided by 5 is 1. So the average of these numbers is 1, choice A. If the sales tax rate were to increase from 7% to 7.5%, then the tax on a $1,000 item would go up by. So initially you have $1,000, and the tax rate is 7%, and therefore the tax would be equal to $70. Then the tax rate goes up, let's say, to 7.5. So now we have 0.075, and that equals $75. So they're asking how much did the tax go up by in dollars, and that looks like from 70 to 75, $5. So the answer is B, 7B. Tom spent part of his morning visiting and playing with friends. The graph shows his travels. He went to his friends' houses and stopped to play if they were home. The number of houses at which he stopped to play is. All right, so he starts off at home right here, and then he goes, I'm assuming, to his first friend's house. So distance from kilometers is this part. So he travels 0.5 kilometers to his first friend's house. His friend, is the friend home or not? Well, no, because he doesn't stop. He just goes right back home. So the first friend is not home. All right. Now let's go to the second friend's house, which is about 1.5 kilometers from where he lives. And then he stops because look, his distance is not changing. Distance is flatlining. That means he stays where he is, and he stays from 20 minutes to 60 minutes. So he stays for 40 minutes, and that is where he is playing. He has stopped to play there. And then he goes back home, and then after some time he goes back to a second friend's house, plays for a while, and then goes back home. So he stops to play here and here. So those are two homes where he stops, and therefore the answer would be B. Andre is hiking on the path shown on the map. He is planning to visit sites A to M in alphabetical order. He can never retrace his steps, and he must proceed directly from one site to the next. What is the largest number of labeled points he can visit before going out of alphabetical order? All right. So let's see what we get. Start at A here, and we go to B, and then C, then D, then E, then F, and then G, and then H, and then I, and then J. So far we have not retraced our steps, but watch what happens when you go from J to K, or attempt to go from J to K. We go back and hit G. So we have placed our foot right back on G. So we have indeed, at that point, retraced our steps. So that cannot be done. So he can only go as far as J and meet the conditions in the question stem. And therefore, what is the largest number of labeled points? Well, from A to J, J is the 10th labeled point. So the answer to this is D. The area of a rectangular shaped garden is 28 meters squared. It has a length of 7 meters. Its perimeter in meters is. So let's draw a rectangular shape and let's start labeling. So they're saying the length is 7. The width we don't know. We'll call that W for width. But we know that the area is 28. So area is length times width. Length is 7. They've given that in the question. And the width we don't know. But we do know the area, which is 28. So therefore 28 divided by 7 is the width. And the width is therefore equal to 4. So this is 4. And then this side, of course, is 7. And this side is 4. So now we can calculate the perimeter. Perimeter is 7 plus 7 plus 4 plus 4. So 7 plus 7 plus 4 plus 4. And that equals 14 plus 8, or 22. So the answer to this question is A.